Okay. And with a test 1, 2, 3, and 4 from OBS, everything should be working. Just gonna verify. And okay, things are working. A little bit of background noise. Partner's doing some cooking in the kitchen, so got some things running. But I wasn't able to do the Sunday stream. I was been having some issues with one of my prescription meds the past few weeks. I realized that's been part of why I've been kind of exhausted lately. But I got that sorted out, so should be back to feeling like 100%, like I used to be before this recent issue. I didn't have the medication for a few weeks, so it's always a good hard lesson in why I'm taking that medication when I go off it for a few weeks and suddenly life becomes way harder for no reason. But yeah, so should hopefully be able to get onto more steady Sunday streams. But doing this one, I'm Alex. I'm the Billionaire Buster. Gonna give away some of my own money from my regular day job on GoFundMe to some emergency causes that, they're asking for money, and if their fucking house burned down, I'd say they quite well need some money. They say money can't buy happiness, but I mean, money can certainly buy you the necessities for a healthy, happy life. So like, having a burned down, fired, this house, we're gonna do this one. This house looks completely fucking totaled, and maybe money can't buy happiness, but money can certainly buy you a house that isn't charred black. So yeah, on Tuesday, just downstairs tenant caught fire, made it to their unit, so it's like a duplex or something. And yeah, besides losing the house, there's losing all the possessions that were in the house. And 9, 7, 4, and 1. These poor children. So, because Elon Musk is busy posting and then deleting shitty memes on Twitter, it's up to just regular caring people like me to try to, pick up some of the slack for slightly mitigating some of the suffering of our current capitalist system. So I'm gonna make a donation to these people. And in this stream, if you saw the title, I'm a little just, it's hard to, there's so much stuff I would want to do that it's sometimes kind of hard to plan it out, because it's like that whole kind of thing where just I got 10 streams worth of ideas in my head, but some of them would like kind of would take more, some of the ideas I have would justify multiple streams to work on. Then sometimes I don't have a super well planned out like agenda of what each stream is going to be in advance. So this one, and partly because I'm doing this on Wednesday, so it's kind of like a makeup stream. I had like a regular day at work today. I work from home, but I was working today on part of why I have Sunday as the intended stream day is because Sunday I usually just try to do chores, and going from chores to streaming is kind of chill. Doing it after work, sometimes that works, but if it was a real long, exhausting work day, then it's like, well, the last thing I want to do after that is try to be on and engaged for a stream. But work was relatively chill today, so no problems there. Got a hard whiskey Dr. Pepper drink here. I like Dr. Pepper. It's diet one, of course. Because I don't need more calories in my alcoholic drinks. Fuck. I'll eat food if I want calories. And you can see, just made a, just did a little something. Get these people 1.7K donations. That's nice. It's a fairly sizable goal, but like, hey, they're getting close there, and it's been up for a week, so certainly gonna help make life a lot easier for the kids here. Jeez, it's a awful position for anyone to be in, let alone a family with young children. That's just it's a rough, stressful situation for everyone. But yeah, so for stream political content, I might do some more like gaming. Maybe might do some Broken Reality. Not 100% sure yet. Like, might kind of split the stream. I'm definitely thinking though, with our first donation taken care of there, thinking that I was having a lot of fun watching and showing, helping share and spread the Amon animations, sharing his videos. So I was thinking about just playing out some more of those, give my little thoughts and insights on them at the end, and chuckle my way through them while they're playing. So do some of that. If you follow Elon Musk on Twitter, you may have forgotten what content that's like actually funny or interesting is like, because Elon Musk is like just kind of like a malformed, empty, like robot man, in like a very like lame and annoying and shitty way, where it's like if he just shut up, he'd be more entertaining, because he's a fucking loser. But Amon Animations, there's someone more than okay. I'm gonna get off the Twitter drama. Jeez, fuck Twitter drama. All Twitter drama is semi-retarded. So Elon Musk ain't a bad king to have on Twitter, because he's great at being a retard. I guess, the one thing I gotta hand him, the man's the CEO of like, 4 or 5 different companies. Think about how hard he must work. You think being a CEO is a full-time job, and he's a CEO of multiple companies. How can he do it? How can one man be a full-time CEO of multiple major international companies? It's, there's just something special about the capitalist class. It's like they're able to hire people to do work for them, and thus the capacity for them to do work is basically limitless. It's really interesting that way, how a CEO can just not really matter. Or if you actually read up anything that's made from interviewing like workers at Tesla, you can see how a CEO can just be an active obstacle to getting anything done. And you can see how much time is spent at first Tesla and now Twitter on soothing and distracting and or just lying to Elon. It's kind of like the Trump White House, where sometimes people in the Trump White House would just say, okay, yeah, we'll do that, sir. And then they would just not do it, and Trump would forget about it, and nothing would happen from it. Because it's like, he's a fucking incompetent idiot. Like, he doesn't fucking know. If he brings it up again, we'll just say, like, yeah, we're working on it. We're totally working on it. Yeah, it's being worked on. Would you like to check the work yourself? No? No? Right, you're beyond that. You're so smart, it wouldn't be worth your time. Thanks for trusting us, boss. We'll keep getting paid. But, I'm rambling. I'm all over the place. Let's go to Jeffrey Epstein's Party Island. Hey, Jeffrey, in the house. What's that got to do with pussy? Is that full screen or should I?
China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain.
World's greatest
Hello, everyone.
pedophile, you
Welcome to my
mean?
temple. Before we begin things, I would like to personally greet each of you. Michael Bloomberg, my good friend. Prince Andrew, you rascal. Professor
Whoops.
Pinker. Bill. Donald, of course.
Oh, I usually just see the
Of course,
one or
my
two.
dear friend Albert Wesker. Pleasure to be here, Jeffrey. I'm so happy that you all could make it here. However, I have some dire news. It has come to my attention that one of you, and I'm not sure who, is planning on betraying me. Now, I know that several of you are planning on running for president, and I'm aware it's no longer cool to be friends with an international human trafficking sex offender, but I do sincerely hope that you all appreciate our friendship more than your ambition.
Jeffrey, if I may, you know that we love you. I mean, you've done so much for each of us. Without your funding, there wouldn't even be an umbrella corporation. Sure, we've had our fights in the past, and yes, we might not—
The Raccoon City incident was Epstein's fault? What? New information reveals.
not agree on all of the issues, but we're all powerful people with a shared interest in protecting our positions within society. We would never betray you, Jeffrey. I just want to piggyback on that point to say, Jeff, I can guarantee you that if someone is going to betray you, it isn't going to be one of us. We're your best friends, Jeffrey. We love you.
You know what? You're right. I love you guys. Now enough serious talk. We came here to party.
Hey, check this out.
Oh shit, what's the rest of this?
Otacon, I found Epstein.
We would never betray you, Jeffrey.
The G-Man. Alright, that was fun. I was laughing at Bill Clinton's saxophone bit there, because he was... Let's see, oh, wow, I'm just not even on my thing. Just playing the theme song to Neon Genesis Evangelion. I gotta step away just real quick for a second. Tell my partner something, so... Let's let this go for... Good song, good tune. Boy, I sure want Elon Musk to stick computer chips in my brain. That way I'll be more effective and efficient at my work, which won't get me paid anymore, but at least the telemetry data that I send will help get us to Mars. I will die for you, Elon. I will die for you. I am the dirt raising up under your feet as you reach the heavens. It's like so fucking pathetic. Like, fucking Americans, why do you want a king so bad? Fucking like cuck peasant mindset.
All right, welcome to the Neuralink product demo. I'm really excited to show you what we've got. I think it's gonna blow your mind. So I want to emphasize the purpose of Neuralink. Like, what's our goal? Our goal is to solve important spine and brain problems with a seamlessly implanted device. And this is sort of what it looks like. This is our little device. I mean, frankly, to sort of simplify this, what we're, I mean, it's more complicated than this, but it's in a lot of ways, it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires. So, does it actually work? And what I'm excited to show you, I call it like the little pigs demo. Yeah. All right, cool. So you want the surgery to be as automated and as possible, and the installation of a link done in under an hour.
Get the fuck out.
So you can basically go in the morning and leave the hospital in the afternoon, and it can be done without general anesthesia.
I mean, that's good that it's a really quick and fast operation, because you know that's important to me as a consumer, that I can go to work the next day after I've had my brain upgraded by Mr. Musk. He's learning the truth of the world. He's pierced the capitalist veil. The falsity of human construct is evaporating before
Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity.
It's just that simple, folks.
유론 모시고になりました。プレゼンテーションにご参加いただきありがとうございます。
Whoa, but like, what if, bro? But what if? Okay, so I've never seen a RoboCop 2. I just know about this scene, and I've seen the original RoboCop because it's a great movie. I'm just recalling there's some good examples here, because the whole thing, like, I mean, the RoboCop's all like, you know, the original RoboCop is very much kind of like a satire. And it's, you know, it's really prescient in a lot of ways, even though, you know, it's a movie from the 80s. But I mean, the whole plot of the movie is kind of based around a corporation taking over and like privatizing the Detroit Police Department and just becoming like the de facto like rulers of a, you know, once great American city. So there's a lot of stuff in RoboCop about just like the whole opening scene in RoboCop is their new big security walking war tank thing just blowing a guy away with live rounds in the boardroom because of a glitch. Like, just pulping a guy in the boardroom. The CEO of the company is, and just, Dick, I'm very disappointed. Like, there's a fucking dead half of a man. You know, RoboCop's a great movie. It's just, I remember just going into it, like, hearing about it from my dad, like, always sounded like, oh, it's a great action movie. And then you watch it, and it's not a particularly action-packed movie. What RoboCop is, though, is RoboCop is really fucking funny. RoboCop's a really, really fucking funny movie. And I just know this one scene in RoboCop 2 where it's like, you know, it's the whole thing where there's this really strong, like, immorality element of... In RoboCop 1, the main character's a cop who gets fucking killed in the line of duty, and then the corporation that's kind of taking over the police force has access to his body, so they turn him into the RoboCop, and they, like, you know, his memory's kind of wiped from it, so it's like he's not even just like, oh, I've been reborn in a robot body. It's just like, I am here to enforce law on OCP orders. I am. Like he's not a person anymore, even though he's still got, like, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, oh, taking the helmet off and, like, actually seeing, like, his own fucking face and, like, not recognize. There's good shit in there. But I know there's this bit from the second movie, which, again, I haven't seen, but it just shows a bunch of their, like other attempts to make a new, like, next-gen RoboCop, which, of course, means that they're using, like, you know, horribly injured or near-dead people to turn into the robot, like, hybrid cyborg suits, and, you know, as we'll see from this scene, let's just, they're having a lot of problems.
Who's that? Fax, Dr. Juliet Fax, just been moved up to head the attitude adjustment team.
5 months. $90 million. I want to see some results.
Yes, sir. I'll show you what we have.
OCP pioneered cyborg technology, and now we take a quantum leap forward. State-of-the-art destructive capabilities, commanded by a unique combination of software and organic systems. In every way, an improvement over the original. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you RoboCop 2.
And then what's gonna happen?
You are under arrest. Stop or I'll shoot.
Look at that guy. Yeah, that guy gets shot, and then it's like, that's him with his arm in a fucking sling. Like, he knew what was coming. He knew this video was gonna be a painful memory. And then what does it do? It blows its own fucking brains out. Because it doesn't want to be a RoboCop.
OCP is proud to present the future of urban pacification. RoboCop 2.
So, he's in a cast, and then the one lady is just... There's just a robot attendant here now. $19 million. It's not going great there. All right, and you know what? Just because I mentioned it, not the. I want the boardroom scene because I was talking about it, and you know what? This channel here. We don't like capitalism here. I don't like the capitalism. And this scene does a really good job of, you know, just the movie in general. It's, Paul Verhoeven in general. It's like, it's the same kind of thing where it's like Starship Troopers. It's like, if you watch Starship Troopers and you thought it was a cool action movie, then I'm sorry, but you have fascism disease. I don't know what we can do about it, but it's at least a way we can detect, like, early warning signs. If your takeaway from Starship Troopers was like, wow, yeah, the Colonial Marines kick ass, woo! I'm sorry, you might have fascism disease. Because if you're at all nominally left-leaning in some way, and you watch Starship Troopers, then the takeaway from the movie is like, haha, wow, fascist society is fucking awful. It's so funny how fucking awful and stupid it is. They're losing to goddamn bugs because they do human wave tactics like fucking morons, and none of them can even fucking tell anymore how fucking stupid they are. Like, you know, Starship Troopers, if you're a lefty, is a brilliant comedy. But, you know, we'll just have some fun here. I hope, I mean, it's like, I hope I don't have to just cut these parts out of the stream completely. If I do, sorry. You can see here, we're gonna click on this, watch it on your own time if I have to cut it out. But it's one of those fun things, just I feel, where it's, because these streams are not in any way intended to like make me money or, you know, to be profitable anyway. It's just like, oh, if I you know, content that watching on stream, like, oh, it'll get the stream demonetized though. It's like, I don't care. It's like the stream's not monetized in the first place. You have no power here. If all the, you know, any penalties that are related to, well, you can do that, but you won't be able to make money on that content. It's like, I already wasn't going to make money on the content. Suck my dick. But, here's, maybe this isn't the first scene in RoboCop. I can't remember, but it's one of the first couple scenes. And it's just, when I was like 13 or 14 watching RoboCop for the first time, I was just like, oh, I get it. Like, we're meant to think that this is like, you know, not the company that should be in charge of everything, even though they're becoming that way because this is how their fucking demo went.
Fellow executives, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the future of law enforcement. Ed 209.
And also, just as a note on the filming stuff, Ed 209 is like motion. I think it's stop motion. So it's like Ed 209 is like a model that I don't know how big it is, but it's not to this size it's presented as. It's probably, I'm sure there's behind the scenes that shows it, but it's probably just like a foot or two, and it's a model, and they're doing like stop motion, and then it's like they filmed it in stop motion and then like put that footage of it in stop motion like on top of the regular film. So just, if you're wondering, you know, it's 87, so if you're wondering what the effect is, or if you're noticing that, like, you know, it looks a little, what it is that it's, you know, because it's like they didn't build an actual like functional robot. It's just, you know, it's an action figure being manipulated in stop motion, where, you know, if you know how stop motion works, it's just they move it a little tiny bit, and then they take another picture, and then they move it a tiny bit, and they take another picture, and then after many, many, many hours of labor-intensive work, you get footage of the action figure moving. That's how a lot of like old Star Wars stuff works. The AT-ATs, the big walker things on Hoth, those are actually just like 2 foot tall, you know, models that are being stop motioned and then played into the scene for the actual movie. But stop motion's good because it gives a sense of realness. Because that is a real action figure. Like, it can be made of actual metal and actually be reflecting the light of the set.
The enforcement droid, Series 209, is a self-sufficient law enforcement robot. 209 is currently programmed for urban pacification, but that is only the beginning.
Urban pacification. You'll notice that their cop looks like a fucking tank. Yeah, it looks like a fucking nightmare frame from Code Geass. Like, it looks like a fucking mecha. Like, help, the old woman next door, I think she might not be well. Can we get an officer to do a wellness check on her? Like, send in the gun hands, right? How's this thing? Help, officer, my cat is stuck in that tree. tree pacified, right? Like, it's telling that their new cop of the future just has fucking gun hands, like, because what else does a cop do, right? What, hugging a scared child? Like, why would it need to be able to hug a scared child? This just needs to be able to shoot combatants for pacification. I'll try not to watch the Chapo Trap House podcast, where there's probably a couple of them where they talk about Paul Verhoeven films. I think they at least got one where they just talk about Starship Troopers. It's good. It's funny. Starship Troopers. I mean, I'll recommend Starship Troopers is like a very, very funny sci-fi movie, which does have some cool action scenes. It's just the action scenes all serve a kind of satirical purpose, but it's actually got like really good models and effects and shit. Like it's not like a cheap looking movie. Like Starship Troopers is actually like kind of a relatively expensive looking movie for its time. It's got like really good models, and like RoboCop's kind of the same way. Like these are good models and shit.
After a successful tour of duty in old Detroit, we can expect 209 to become the
tour of duty
product for the next decade. Dr. McNamara.
We'll need an arrest subject.
Mr. Kenny.
Yes, sir.
Would you come up and give us a hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Yes,
Kenny is
sir.
going to help us simulate
Absolutely,
a typical
sir.
arrest and disarming procedure. Mr. Kenny, use your gun in a threatening manner. Point it at Ed 209.
Yes, sir.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kenny.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
Just to highlight that one, it does a lion roar. They added a lion roar capability to it. But just, I'll just let it run through once, and then maybe we do the like second watch through. You can notice the little things, because it's fun to just, besides the main action, it's worth noticing just all the little things and how like everyone else in the scene is reacting, because it's like it's a fucking movie and they were trying really hard.
You now have 15 seconds to comply. You are in direct violation of Penal Code 113, Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2, 1. I am now authorized to use physical force.
Practical squibs. I said they pulped him.
Somebody want to call a goddamn paramedic? Let's go, Johnson. You pull the plug on this thing! All right, don't touch him. Don't touch him! He didn't hear the gun drop. He didn't hear it!
Dick,
I'm very disappointed.
I'm sure it's only a glitch. A temporary setback.
You call this a glitch? We're scheduled to begin construction in 6 months. Your temporary setback could cost us $50 million in interest payments alone.
Not necessarily, sir. Perhaps you're aware of the RoboCop program developed by myself at Security Concepts as a contingency against just this sort of thing.
Thank you for your concern, Mr. Morton. I'm sure this is something
Now,
we can
wait
take
a
up in
minute.
my office at a
Dick!
Dick!
Maybe what we
His
need
name's not even Richard.
Tell me about your plan, Mr. Morton. How long will it take?
We're ready to go, sir. We've restructured the police department and placed prime candidates according to risk factor. I'm confident that we can go to
And then that's like the little line too, where if you go back, it's they've placed prime candidates according to risk factor, where it's like you realize that it's like the mission that Murphy, the cop, gets fucking killed on is like he was being set up to die so that they would have a candidate. And I mean, you know what? Commie-brained libtards might complain, but OCP is actually a very profitable company, and their stock value has just continually shown a great return on investment. So I don't think there's anything to complain about. Oh man. Oh god. RoboCop's a good movie. RoboCop's a very good movie. All right, let's have fun. Let's have fun with some more Amons. Cause this shit, it's so good. I recommend everyone sub. This channel deserves it.
I can't possibly have babies because of climate change. You know?
Right, which is nonsense.
No.
But I do think it's crazy that I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man. You know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me. I think it's everybody else.
Wait, where's his brain then? Are you registered? Alright, let's do Oh man, I fucking punished Bernie. That one's long, but that one's great. But yeah, Eldritch Dennis Prager. Whew.
Everyone who thinks that they are gay should struggle to lead a heterosexual life.
That's interesting.
If there were no moral rules and no police, men would grab women and do what they wanted as a rule. That is the way men are made.
Yeah.
The fact that your man doesn't act that way is because he has been given a set of rules and because he knows that he will be punished.
See, that's so interesting.
I mean, he seems really confident about what he's saying, so it can't be incorrect. Confident people aren't wrong. What do you mean I'm fucking stupid?
Men know this, and we males, I am one of them, I am male.
Yeah.
We know this from a very early age.
You know, it is one of those things where I think, at least relative to himself, whenever Dennis Prager talks about how men want to and otherwise would just go around raping women, I do think that he is offering a genuine and honest reflection of his own personal desires and mindset. He's fallen into that like speeder's trap of he's projecting his own horrible fucked up mindset onto everyone else, because all assumptions about other people have to kind of use yourself as a template. So just like people who chronically speed while driving vastly overestimate how much everyone else speeds, there's a similar thing where people who cheat on their partners a lot will, when surveyed, vastly overestimate how much everyone else cheats. And likewise, Prager is convinced that his just rapey, authoritarian, domineering traits are just a natural baseline feeling that every single human has, and if they say otherwise, they're lying. It can't just be that he's a bit of a weird, creepy psycho. It must be that everyone is weird, creepy psychos just like him. There's a lot of just whenever people talk about society or culture or other people, especially if they're being critical, it can be just a brilliant window into their own personal mindset. And this applies to me as much as, and I mean, some people are obviously less fucking self-aware than others, but it's like I say, it's the like confirmed thing of like people who speed a lot will overestimate how much everyone else speeds, because they have to start with themselves as like what they think, you know, their own experience as a human is their starting point for thinking about any and every other human, more or less. It's like an intrinsic human bias that you kind of have to like start with yourself on a lot of things. And, you know, there's ways to get around that and to mitigate that, and you know, people do. It's why I know, it's like, I play a lot of video games, but like I'm very well aware that like there are people who don't play video games at all and are perfectly happy and content and satisfied with that fact, and like I can accept that. I don't think they're lying to themselves, and they really wish they could be playing video games, but it's like, it's just, there's a lot of shit to do on this planet, and not everyone's going to have the same hobbies. You know, I think bird watching seems kind of uninteresting, but for the people who do bird watching, I'm fully convinced they're into it, because if they weren't into it and if they weren't enjoying it, why the fuck would they be going out on cold early mornings to go to the park and fucking like watch for the fucking red-crested warblers that they might see? Like, you know, I'm human enough that I can get where, like, I mean, pretty birds are pretty. You go out and see them. Like, that's cool. I can get it. I can, you know, I'm not super into gardening, but, like, I've been to a garden before. Plants are neat. I can understand that someone else could be really into gardening, even though I personally am not. But I think it's just something where when people give their, like, now, this is how everybody is on the inside takes, it's really, really rife for those kinds of, like, prescriptions to just be horrendously biased towards the self, right? Like, if, not that he would say this, but it's like the thing where Michael Jordan, like, at some point, like, said that, you know, when asked about, like, he would gamble, you know, Michael Jordan, fucking famous basketball player, one of the best athletes, like, of all time, you know, great basketball player, you know, fucking wrecked shit on the court for many, many years. And he also, like, had a thing where he was, like, doing, like, real, like, high stakes gambling, where just, like, he would go to casinos and just, he would be playing, like, real, like, high value, you know, $10, $50, $100,000 like poker hands and shit, and someone like, do you think you might have a gambling addiction? And his answer was, no, I think I have a competition addiction. And you could see that, like, in his life, because he, like, stopped playing basketball, but then he stopped doing basketball because he had won a bunch, and then he started playing baseball, and that was just some, like, from a viewpoint of the man's addicted to competing, that makes sense. He's just addicted to competing. So he was the best basketball player. So then, well, there's no more competition there. On to the next sport. And then he stopped after that because I guess the reality probably hit him that trying to be the best at multiple professional sports is a kind of a shit show of a goal. Because he wasn't a great baseball player. He was a good enough of an athlete to be a pro baseball player, but then it's just that whole thing where the whole time Michael Jordan was playing baseball, everyone was just asking, why the fuck are you playing baseball? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And just last thing I guess I'll try to say before I just let this actual video play out. I'll rewind it 10 seconds. Fuck it, we'll go back a little. I've been paused, but just I think a great avenue where you can sometimes get these kinds of insights is from insults. From the things people insult people over. There's one caveat, one like wrinkle in that, which is that, showing my own bias here a bit, but sometimes people will, or I guess I'll put it this way. The case where this is useful is that a lot of times the things people insult or judge or demean people over are a reflection of the things they care about. Because if you don't, you know, say you're someone who doesn't care about shoes, right? You're not into shoes. You don't care. Oh, did you see that guy's shoes? No. You're just someone who doesn't care. Right? It's unlikely that you're going to insult someone for like, oh, look at those cheap ass shoes he got on, dirty fucking skidded up shoes. It's like, if you're someone who doesn't care about shoes, it's not gonna like, it's not so much gonna be something that like occurs to you that like, oh, I'm gonna shit on like his shoe style, right? And then the wrinkle to that, the caveat, is that you can sometimes also figure out, or just in terms of like, okay, if you're insulting someone, it's, I guess it's like kind of the two things of it's the natural default bias is to insult people for failing to live up to like standards that you hold. And then there's the second layer of insulting people for things, for failing to live up to standards that you think they hold. So I'd give an example where it's like on a cooking show, like, you know, Kitchen Nightmares, or what is it? It's Hell's Kitchen, and Kitchen Nightmares is the one where he goes to the other people's restaurants, right? And on Kitchen Nightmares, you'll see it happen a lot where Gordon Ramsay will explain that the food's really bad, and then the chef will get really fucking offended because they're a chef. The food is their job. Potentially, they have a view of themselves as a chef, as being a good chef, as someone who cares a lot about food and cooking, as someone who can do good cooking. So when Gordon says the food was dry and bland and blah, 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 you know, that's striking at the shit they care the most about. But then there'd be the, you know, like kind of the case where that doesn't work. I know of like one episode where the person who was the head chef was a relative, and they weren't particularly passionate about cooking. They were kind of like there as like a family favor of like, I guess I can like try to fill in as a cook while you're like they were taking night classes for like some other shit. Like, so when Gordon was like, the food's not very good, they were just like, yeah, I'm not really a cook. And he was just like, and Gordon Ramsay was smart enough to be like, well, that would explain why the food's not great. You're not particularly passionate about cooking, are you? And the person's response was like, yeah, I'm not. I'm really not. If you say I'm a bad chef, fuck it. I believe you. I am trying, but like, I also don't super care. And it's like, okay, fair. Likewise, it's like if Gordon Ramsay said I was a bad cook, I would just have to be like, I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know why I would be a great cook. I don't cook enough. Right? It's like, I don't have anything built up, or I'm not staking anything on none of my ego rests on like, and I'm a great fucking cook too. How this piece of shit telling me that I'm not a good cook? It's like, you know I can cook an okay meal when I'm in my own kitchen, but it's like, yeah, if you put me in like a restaurant kitchen environment where there's just tons of orders coming in, it's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, oh yeah, I'm totally drowning here. This is a shit show. Like, of course it is. I'm not a good cook. I understand that about myself. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just, I'll put it this way, you don't see a lot of strippers, like, you're not likely to see a stripper, like, insulting someone for being, like, a floozy. Because it's like, if you're a stripper, you probably don't have like a super prudish view on sex where being a floozy is bad, right? Like, it's like someone who is in an interracial marriage is probably not going to shit on people for race mixing, because if they cared about, and I say quotes here because race mixing is kind of, you know, you can tell how much I care about race mixing by the fact that I'm putting fucking finger quotes on the concept of it. He's black and she's white. Like, okay. And who gives a fuck? Like, how does this impact you? Right? Like, who gives a fuck? It tells you something. If someone's like really mad about, you know, interracial couples, that tells you something about their views on race. Because someone who didn't really give a someone who wasn't racist wouldn't even have a reason to, right? It'd be like shitting on a couple for wearing wearing green t-shirts. It's just, you see how green those t-shirts were? Fucking degenerates wearing green t-shirts, right? Most people, if they heard that, they'd just be like, the fuck did a green t-shirt do to you? Like, I don't even, what? Green t-shirts, right? That doesn't, that insults involve, and again, there's the caveat here that you can be in a situation where you just use an insult that, because I've done this sometimes with right-wingers, where I'll just like give the very quick example before I get back, where, I don't give a shit about like the white race or like protecting and defending the white race, obviously, but like Nazis care a lot about protecting and defending the sanctity of our white race. So it's like calling a Nazi a pathetic, degenerate insult to the greatness of white ancestors, right? Like, if someone said that to me, I would be like, oh, are you like a Nazi or something? Because that's... But like me, I could potentially say something like that to a Nazi because while it's something I don't care about or value, Nazis, if you tell a Nazi that they're a example of degenerate white whatever you can just make up whatever shit you want, but like if you tell a Nazi that they're bad at being a white person, they will get really fucking angry about that. They really fucking hate it. Or like other example, if you tell a Nazi that they sound black, right? Again, finger quotes, because like that's not even right. If someone said to me like, "Hey Alex, like who cares what you think? You sound like a black person," I would be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Right? It's like to me, I'd want to immediately flip that on like, "What do you think sounding like a black person is?" Like, go on, like tell me more about what black people sound like. That sounds really fucking right. Like I'm gonna, because I don't. That doesn't mean anything to me. That's not. They might as well tell me I sound like a Martian. Like you okay? Like are you okay, man? You seeing shit? But again, I also know that if you tell a Nazi that they sound like a black person, oh my god, they will want to fucking shoot you. They hate it so much. And just, it's something to keep in mind too. Just if someone's telling a Nazi they sound black, they may in fact be a progressive leaning person who they themselves don't see anything about that. They're just targeting the thing the Nazi isn't, right? It's like fat Nazis. I don't put a moral stake on someone's body weight, but Nazis care a lot about what people look like, and they care a lot about how fit people are, and they really love to be shitty on fat people. So if you see a Nazi and they're fat, calling them a lazy fat ass, that's not something I would say to any old fat person, because who cares? Like, if you call a fat person a lazy fat ass just because you're a dick there. Like, you're being a weird dick. But I just think there's an interesting element that if you call a fat Nazi a lazy, ugly, fat insult to the white race, again, it's just they'll get really fucking pissed off, and they'll start making really, really pissed off emotional. It's that thing. It's like sometimes when Vosh is debating a Nazi, if making the Nazi lose their cool looks good for the side that's not Nazis, and it's just like, if you tell the fact that if you tell a Nazi that he's weaker than a black man, that Nazi will start like shitting his pants in rage, when like a normal person would just mostly find that like a confusing thing that you like what do you because it's like, to a Nazi it's like they're in a constant battle to like defend the whites from the blacks. So it's like implying that like they're failing on, right? You're insulting them over something they care about. And you can do that even if it's shit you don't care about. Right? Like, if you call a vain person ugly, they might be offended. But like, say Stavros from Cumtown, stand up. If you tell him he's ugly, he'd probably just be like, yeah, because like he knows what he fucking looks like. Not, like, I don't care what he looks like. He's a guy. He's funny, and that's what I care about because I watch him for the funnies, and he's funny. But it's just something to think of there that like, if you insulted someone for being ugly, the more offended they get about that is an indication of how much they like care about or are sensitive towards that topic, right? If someone called my 80-year-old grandma ugly, she'd probably just think less of them because like she's an 80-year-old woman. Like the fuck are you talking about, right? Like it doesn't. That was a long tangent. I've had that thought in my head for a while, and I'm gonna just let this play now. And then we'll do a donation after. How's that sound?
That he will be punished.
See, that's so interesting to me.
Men know this, and we males, I am one of them, I am male.
Yeah.
We know this from a very early age. We can't act out our sexual nature.
If the dial of ideas was turned to low for the last few years, it's quickly moving into the hot position. And I have to say that my brain is still in recovery mode from taking in so many high-level important ideas.
My life is devoted to fighting evil. I want to destroy evil.
Yeah.
This is really critical. If there's no God, there's no good and evil. There are only opinions about good and evil.
Again, it's just note how much those statements say about Dennis Prager. When Dennis Prager says he's concerned about evil and about fighting evil and that without God there is no good and evil, like, I believe that he believes that. I think that's him being honest about what his like stance is, and that's part of what contributes to him being just a bigoted jackass blowhard, because he's concerned about fighting evil, and obviously the things he doesn't like and is put off by and finds personally upsetting must be evil. Why would he be so upset with them if they weren't evil when he's someone who's fighting evil? It's people get in this real fucking loop of just anything that disgusts them must be some horribly abhorrent degeneration that all humans would to not be put off by it. You're lying. So it's the person who sees two gay guys holding hands walking down a street and starts talking about how like the LGBT agenda is being shoved down his throat, and it's like, no, it's not, you fucking pussy. You're just really, really put off by gay people, and so you're lashing out when gay people remind you of their existence. Like, that's all it is. It's a severely fragile position for a human to be living in. I mean, imagine that. Imagine being someone who is genuinely disgusted by the sight of, like, gay people and having to live in a modern society where, like, yeah, gay people are gonna hold hands in public just like any other fucking couple would. It's very upsetting for the bigot, but the thing they're upset about isn't actually a problem, so there's not really anything for anyone else to do about it, because it's like, if I thought people wearing ball caps was a real affront to God, like, the fact that wearing ball caps isn't actually a problem means that me having a problem with it is my fucking problem, not society's. That's a thing that, like, basically, like, being a reactionary is when you don't understand that fact. That just because you personally don't like or are off-put by something, that doesn't actually mean it's, like, a bad thing. I don't like eating shit, and you can go on the internet and find videos of people who seem to really like eating shit, and it's just like, the mature adult thing to do is that I just don't watch those videos because I'm not into it. Doesn't need to be a crime, doesn't need to be prosecuted. I don't need to write blogs about how shit-eating videos are destroying the moral fabric of our society, because they're not. Because how could they? a video of someone eating shit, 90% of the people who watch that video are going to be people who are also interested in shit eating. And anyone who isn't interested in shit eating, generally it's, you know, personally speaking, it's not hard to avoid shit eating content when that's not something that does anything for you. You know, a personal preference does not have to be catered to in all aspects of society. It can just be your personal preference. Doesn't have to be a big deal.
Here is a fact. There's no God over me. There's no policeman over me. There's no one over me. I am God.
Okay, that's what the body is. He's a centipede man. Sounds like something a non-male would say. I like how you don't need to make up fake creepy things for him to say. Right, if you're someone who doesn't share Dennis Prager's biases, then the stuff he says is, like, pretty obviously the product of someone who's seems to be a real, you know, piece of shit on the inside, and he's just projecting that shittiness out on everyone else. Or, you know, just before I close this off, but just, yeah, the man who claims to be a godly person of virtue and morality just admitted the only thing stopping him from sexually assaulting people is fear of punishment. Because Dennis thinks that's true for everyone, so there's nothing telling about him revealing that, right? He views saying that on the same tier as just saying that when he's thirsty, he likes to drink some clear water from the sink, nice and healthy, right? He thinks it's that normal of a statement. There's that to him, he doesn't see how that could be telling because he's too biased inside his own head to, you know, see how fucking, like, I don't know, how fucking deformed his morality looks to other people who don't share that bias. That's the way I put that. Along with all the other ways I put it. It's been an hour. Jeez, time flies when you're having fun. Let's, wow, that one went way past its goal. Woo. Wow. Okay, let's, as I say, I don't want to do ones that have already, like, hit their goal, because... Okay. So I'm guessing Tommy here, yeah, struggling to breathe, cardiac arrest, in the ICU. Updates. Well. Oh. Jeez. Shit, yo. None of that is fun. And you know what? Bit of crap on my screen there, but hey, I opened it. They've certainly got a sympathetic cause. So the Billionaire Buster is here to try to help. I'm trying. You know, it ties into a thing from me. You're not gonna You're hopefully not going to see me shit on people who are trying to do good things, whether they're entirely successful or not. It's like, hey, I think trying to do good things is good, so why would I shit on someone for that, right? You know, and you want to encourage the behavior you want to see. It's a reason you'll never see me slut-shaming. You know, personally, I like it when women wear skimpy outfits and post pictures on Instagram of them dressed up as sexy anime characters, you know? And since I personally enjoy seeing that, I discovered this, like, great trick where if you're someone who gets horny for women, seems rather counterproductive to shame and insult women for doing horny shit. It's like, no. We should praise women who do horny shit because it's hot. I love it when women post skimpy bikini pics on Twitter because I like those pictures. Why would I shame them for it? I want to encourage the behavior I want to see. That's why, you know, when it comes to that topic, I'm a rather sex positive person. I'd rather people weren't beating themselves up over very natural, sensible, and harmless desires. It's that whole thing where it's like if you look into like a porn addiction, and like I'm not dismissing like that as a concept, but I think I've seen a thing, if I recall correctly, that in the USA, a majority of people who are seeking treatment for porn addiction are evangelical men. Because they're the people who, because of the evangelical stuff, have a huge, big, weird guilt complex built up around porn and sexuality. They're the most quick to feel like they have a problem with porn addiction because they have this whole, like, mental construct in their head that, like, looking at porn in the first place is already, like, pretty bad. Right? Whereas me, I'm more sex positive. It's like, oh, so, like, sometimes you look at porn and you, like, jerk off to it. What's the problem? Like, what's the problem, though? Like, if you were just looking at the porn and not jerking off, like, I personally, given my consumptive habits, right, I'd find it more weird if you were looking at porn and, like, not jerking off to it. Because what's the point of that? What, you just here for, like, the art of it? Like, okay. You know, which tells something about what I look at porn for. You know, big secret. If I'm not jerking off, then I could probably find something more entertaining than porn. You know, that's my own person. Right? That's a personal, like, kind of bias on my end, but okay. That's weird, crazy tangents, all that stuff. On the GoFundMe here. Let's I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a minute. Nice kitty. Kitty cat's been sleeping right next to me. Alright, so let's have fun with some more Amons. And then I think maybe do that Vosh. I played a little bit that, and then I watched it later afterwards, and just the whole goddamn thing is a treat. But let's do another Amon. And next up, let's do Charlie Kirk. And I guess the one detail I'll give on Charlie Kirk. Oh, God, just fucking YouTube recommendations grabbing my head. But Charlie Kirk and Vosh had a debate. And, well, I have to say that as someone who likes the Voshter there, as a proud member of the Fat Ian gang family, I think Vosh's debate with Charlie Kirk went very well for Vosh. And outside of that, I could not possibly recommend earnestly watching any content made by or featuring Charlie Kirk, because he's also kind of a dumb piece of shit.
And for those of you that say, well, it really doesn't impact me, I don't care if Trump goes to prison. First of all, you absolutely should care. Because if we lose, they're going to come after the churches, they're going to come after the organizations, they're going to come after the people, they're going to come after the social media accounts, they're going to come after the bank accounts, they're going to come after every single person that played any form and role into trying to defend President Trump. With social media banning, following in the streets, targeting in every form and fashion. If we lose, if the president loses, they will come for us all. They will come for your children, they will come for your schools, they will come in every fashion. And they won't stop. They are going to do whatever it takes to try to personally and intergenerationally destroy Donald Trump. That's how much they hate him. They hate him not because of his tweets, not because of his style. They hate him because all of their schemes have been put in jeopardy. They're going to come with bloodthirsty revenge.
Just building on the previous points, but I wonder if Charlie Kirk ever thinks about enacting bloodthirsty revenge on people he considers himself in opposition to. He sure seems to think the people in opposition to him are thinking about it. Wonder where that comes from. See, it's a lot. You can. He could also just be lying and just saying shit to rile up money, but. You gotta. Nothing is ever bulletproof because lies and deceptions and subterfuge are within every human's capacity. But just, little things to think about, little things to keep in mind.
President Trump always says, quote,
If you love birds, you'd never want to walk under a windmill because it's a very sad, sad sight.
We are intrinsically tied to the president. He's with us. He's for us. I've called him the bodyguard of...
We are intrinsically tied to the president, for better or worse. Yeah, just, we'll put your little do a little bit of that logic that the monkey that your AP brain has the unique capacity for among all of God's animals on Earth.
Western civilization, and boy is he taking the body blows for us right now. But if they come for him, they're coming for us, and they're also coming for me. This is where it's headed. If Donald Trump loses, you can expect every...
The fucking Epstein photo.
level of power to try to obliterate us for good. This is a very real thing. We lose in November, it's going to be bedlam. That if they get power back, they're going to lock him up, and they're going to continue until they have absolute pathological power over our country.
I wonder what Charlie Kirk himself desires.
Please email us your thoughts, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com, freedom@charliekirk.com. Make sure you check out my interview with Candace Owens, author of Blackout, phenomenal episode. Please consider supporting us at charliekirk.com/support, charliekirk.com/support. Please consider supporting us at Turning Point USA and getting involved with Turning Point USA in the culture war, tpusa.com, tpusa.com. And if you guys want to win a signed copy of the Mega Doctor, type in Charlie Kirk to your podcast provider, hit subscribe, give us a 5-star review, screenshot it, email us, freedom@charliekirk.com, freedom@charliekirk.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. God bless you. Talk to you soon.
It's good. It's very, very good. Copeland. So if I'm recalling the context on this one, there's some shithead preacher. We have a lot of those in America. And it is a problem. I say, an atheist, revealing my bias. I think having a lot of fundamentalists, religious charlatans, and shitheads is bad, actually. Revealing my bias that I don't value religion very much, so ergo sum haec proct ercto. When religious shit is bad, I have no charity for it. Wow, amazing. But he's some dipshit preacher. His last name is Copeland, which is, already kind of funny. But if I'm recalling right with this video, it's just there was just some video where he was talking to like a group of, I guess, the fucking sheep that flock towards thy shepherd. And he was just, laughing at the idea that Trump would lose the 2020 election, which hindsight being 2020 is extra pathetic. Yeah, see, that's the thing there. The fact that I used the word pathetic as an insult, like that's a reflection of a thing that it's the honest thing that not only do I think it's pathetic, I think it's also bad in some way to be pathetic like that. I look down a bit on patheticness, and I've introspected enough that I'm willing to defend that, right? If someone ever came up, oh, Alex, you made fun of, you said Copeland was pathetic. Do you think there's something wrong with being pathetic? It's like, I guess I do. I might even be willing to say that being pathetic is not great. But enough about me. It's only my stream.
I think Kamala and Biden might be throwaway candidates. They know they're going to get steamrolled in the election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say Trump's going to win re-election. I think Trump might have a massive, massive victory, which shocks. I think we're looking at a Trump victory, man. Trump 2020 landslide. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Trump had a 49 state landslide. I think we could see a 49 state landslide. We may see a 49 state landslide. I think we might be seeing a 49 state landslide. That'd be amazing. We may be looking at a Mondale-Reagan type scenario where Trump landslides 49 states. No amount of mail-in ballots. We all know Joe Biden will win. A million and one times. Donald Trump's going to win.
Strike and strike and strike and strike and strike.
Okay, I just gotta say again that fucking music there. That music is from Neon Genesis Evangelion, which we saw Amon makes good use of the music from there. But I know we also see this in some other videos. I think it's End of Evangelion, the special 2 episodes that they were super long OVA, special episodes that the show was a real success, and they had 2 more episodes to further kind of flesh out and redo some of the ending a bit. And so I think this song is from that, and some of the. So just if you're wondering where Amon, because I'm sure we're going to see that there's going to be some very bizarre and crazy imagery here. Know that some of it is just literally Amon just straight copying End of Evangelion, which has some very bizarre and crazy and insane imagery in it. And I don't mean that as any sort of knock against Amon. The craziness of End of Evangelion is a fitting stage for a political actor like Copeland to be placed upon. It's definitely a hole that is in some ways made for him.
And strike and strike and strike and strike and strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. If I lose to him, I don't know what I'm going to do. I will never speak to you. you again. You'll never see me.
What a fucking liar.
I know I've let you down. I've been a fool to myself. I thought that I could live for
Jesus said, take this cup.
It's a fucking
This is my blood.
There's Copeland.
It's
Covenant.
time for me to respect.
The media said what? The media said Joe Biden's president.
So with sadness in my heart, feel the best thing I could do is end it all and leave What's done is done, it feels so bad. Once was happy, now is sad. I'll never love again.
It's like the inhuman ugliness of the 3D model. It's like it's a reflection of Copeland's own personal inhuman ugliness, which is just by like the aim on animations. He presents them how they really are, which again, in some ways represents a bias on my part that just I share. I clearly am on some similar wavelengths to Amon. I'm sure if Copeland's family were to see this, they would say, no, that's not him at all. How presenting him in such an ugly way, that's not the man we know. And yeah, they would fucking say that. And I can figure that out because I know enough about how humans work. And, doesn't really matter. This video, it's not for them. And just, as someone who does find an individual like Copeland that just fucking repugnant, it's the whole kind of thing that, seeing him depicted in such an ugly, grotesque way, it's like, well, as far as I'm concerned, he's a massive piece of shit, so, as you can see, when I go on GoFundMe, I've got sympathy for the families whose houses have burned down. I've got sympathy for the people who have been in car accidents and who have been diagnosed with horrible diseases. But someone like Copeland, he's active. From my judgment, he's actively a piece of shit. So it's kind of like whatever it takes, If a video like this has a negative effect on his reputation, then good. Because I think his life has a negative effect on every other fucking person's life on Earth. So, on the weight of scales, being offensive to people who like Copeland, and Copeland being a horrible piece of shit, somehow Copeland is even more terrifying than this portrayal, right? It's that idea. It's why I like this channel. I love this shit. It's great. Okay, let's see. I'm saying let's see because my drink is now empty, so I'm gonna pour myself another drink. But while I'm doing that, it'd be poor form to just leave you on a blank page, just staring at my back wall. I need to actually get my disc plates up on the wall or something. I've got. If you've ever seen any YouTube videos by Iron Pineapple, he has good gaming content. A lot of it's Dark Souls focused, but he also has this disc plate like image that he was part of the creation for, and it's like all the different world zones of Dark Souls. So I think it's... I'm not sponsored by Displate, but I will say that I have one other Displate thing that's Disco Elysium themed. I will say the whole like metal I'm happy with the like $100 or whatever it was that I paid for this. I think this thing looks really fucking nice. It's really pretty. You know, I chose the image that would be on it, but I think like the colors, in real life too, just holding like the colors really fucking pop on it. This plate seems to actually be a pretty good product. I'm just kicking and knocking shit over. Okay, that's that. Chores. I'm a bit behind on them. But the thing is, I'm only behind by my own standards, which are, the evidence of my life says, a tad bit more punishing than they probably should be. 27 years of not realizing you have ADHD can lead to one being rather harsh and a tendency to push oneself, because if I didn't do that, I just wouldn't fucking have ever gotten anything done. But, wow, fucking tangents. And personally, when I was 12 years old, no. But while I'm pouring my drink, just because there is a Behelit there, we're going to get some Berserk imagery. I don't think I've talked about Berserk much. I'll just say, needless to say, the series Berserk, if you've never heard of it, it's pretty fucking great. The more recent anime seasons, I would say maybe don't start with those, because they look worse than what fucking Amon makes as just a dude half the time, and that's not... The big problem is, it's like, it's not just that those Berserk anime seasons looked bad, it's that the manga, Berserk's originally a manga, first and foremost, is that as far as mangas go, Berserk is fucking beautiful. So you've got like 10 out of 10 art in the manga, and then the anime adaptation is like, it's got some real like 3 out of 10 scenes, and you know, when you have the 10 out of 10 manga to compare it to, those 3 out of 10 scenes, they look real fucking ugly when you know how good Berserk can look otherwise. Anyway, I'm just gonna throw up some random fucking Berserk. Bazuzo, the 30-man slayer! There's so many good memes you can get out of Berserk too. Shit's great. The original anime from the 90s is pretty alright. It's not super high budget, and it's from the 90s, but it's that kind of thing where I'd say it's like, compared to the newer anime, where just it's like it's more even level. It's like, at its worst, it's like a 5 out of 10, but it at least feels like it was like a legit like attempt. The modern anime has the thing where it looks really fucking cheap at parts, and it just feels like it feels cheap in the way where it's like, you know, that the poor saps who were having to actually like try to animate and do the art for it, like, they knew that they did not have enough time and money to do a good job, and just like it seems like it was demoralizing to even work on. Whereas the 97 anime just feels like it's a like not super high budget 90s anime, but it's like, it at least feels like everyone was like, this Berserk manga's like pretty fucking cool. Like, yeah, we're making the anime for it. Like, all right, like, gambate, everyone. Like, cool. That's a much more sympathetic vibe.
Bazzuso! The Grey Knight Bazzuso?
As long as I stand here, none shall pass. Who else wants to feel the blade of my axe?
That's Bazzuso, known as the 30-Man Slayer!
Also known as the Bear Slaughterer.
Quit your dawdling, you cowards! Defeat him and earn the bounty!
He's talking nonsense. He isn't paying that much.
Yeah, why don't you do it yourself? Huh? Who is that?
He's still a kid. Look at the size of that sword. Does that runt actually think he's gonna swing that thing around?
It's just for looks. He's gonna be slaughtered.
But he has no experience!
Hey, kid! Do you really want to fight with me? I see you've got some balls, but you're gonna regret it when I chop your head off with my axe! Either way, it's pathetic that a kid like you is permitted to fight on the battlefield. There seems to be a shortage of soldiers in your army, or all the men cowards!
Speed is dominating him!
Bazzuso, the Bear Slaughterer.
Mercy!
Hell yeah.
Now! Everyone, seize the castle! All of you, charge!
Didn't realize our opponents had anyone like that.
Must be some kind of mercenary. Wondering which one of you is stronger?
Don't be ridiculous. He's no match for our...
And just to quickly say, because I'm sure it's come up at some point in one of these streams that I, unsurprisingly, I like the Dark Souls games. I like Elden Ring. I like From Software as a developer. Especially, man, Elden Ring. Elden Ring was one of the rare games where I actually, like, let myself, like, be a bit, like, hype and excited for. Because I'm at the point in my life as an adult, and as someone who knows how to use emulators, that there are vastly more games out there that I could be, like, my limitation on playing games is time, not money. So I usually just don't bother, like, getting hyped for new shit, because, like, what's the point? You know, there's 20, I could in 10 minutes make a list of 20 PS1 games that I've never played but would be interested in playing, and I could just download those all for free and play them on an emulator. You know, several years ago, like, I played Symphony of the Night for the first time because I like the Game Boy Advance and the DS Castlevania games. I really like all of those. It was like, oh, they're all like Symphony of the Night's like the first Metroidvania. So I just played it on like a fucking emulator and like, yeah, Symphony of the Night's pretty good game. I can see why I inspired a lot. But it's like, I played Symphony of the Night for free. Fuck it. But the thing I was gonna just say on that though is, if you play if you're in the Dark Souls community at all, it becomes, the people who make Dark Souls like Berserk and clearly respect Berserk, and there's a lot of Berserk references in Dark Souls. Probably the most obvious example too is just we saw main character Guts there take out Bazzuso, the 30-Man Slayer, the Bear Slaughterer, Grey Knight Bazzuso. But in like every Dark Souls game and in Elden Ring, you can get a sword that looks just like the sword from Berserk. And I know at least in some of the games, like, you can also get armor that looks like the armor he wears. And there's a couple of different kinds of armor, but I think I remember like in Dark Souls, either in 2 or 3, there was like the mercenary armor. And the main character was a mercenary for the start of the series. And just, it's like, oh, the mercenary armor looks exactly like Guts' fucking armor. And it's just, if you've played Dark Souls online and you've ever been like looking at people's summon signs for PvP, if you've probably noticed some number of summon signs where the character's name is Guts or Gutsu, and then you summon them and they look something like this, because it's very, very easy to be Guts, the main character of Berserk in Dark Souls. And I'm sure there's all sorts of image compilations and videos and comparisons, but yeah, there's a lot of very, very, very Berserk looking shit in Dark Souls, and Dark Souls benefits from it because Berserk is a fantastic series with very creative and uncompromising art design. This sword here is just literally the Dragon Slayer sword from Berserk. Like, it's just literally... And, you know, there's references to... Like, I think it's, like, at least in one of the games, like, the description for this sword, like, basically quotes the Berserk manga, where it's just like, this sword is so large and so heavy, it's hard to wield as an actual weapon, which is, like, a fucking thing from Berserk, where... There's some funny moments where people see Guts and they see this thing and they're like, they don't even, like, they're not convinced it's an actual weapon because it's like, how the fuck, like, that's not even, that's just a big slab of iron. Like, that's not even a sword, you idiot. And then Guts fucking, like, chops 3 people in half with one swing and everyone goes like, oh, fuck. He's gonna kill us all. So for fun, because, you know, lighthearted stream, I guess probably won't do any game playing. We'll just keep having fun with videos, you know? Watch fun videos, donate to the GoFundMes, help people. Like, it's that easy. It's that easy. I have an office job that pays me 6 figures, and I'm able to do this. What's Jeff Bezos' excuse? Does he need to eat like 1,000 more iguanas? Has he not raped enough children yet? Like, if he manages to get, like, the 50th Thai child under his cock, like, then he'll be able to help someone on GoFundMe. Like, that's what he needs to build up to it. I don't know. I don't think there is an excuse. I think it's morally abhorrent how they hoard all their good shit while there's, like, you know, actual fucking problems happening that they could just easily... Again, just imagine, this whole page, Jeff Bezos could just... Bam, 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 bam. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. He could just boom, 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 boom. Just help a bunch of people, save lives. It'd be good PR. That's the stuff where it's like, I start to just conclude that, like, they must just be psychopaths, because, like... Imagine if your house burned down, you started a GoFundMe, and on the first day, Jeff Bezos himself just fucking, like, maxed out your GoFundMe. Like, hey, on behalf of Amazon, keep your chin up, kid. Like, holy shit. Like, it'd be such good PR. And yet they don't do it. Even though it'd be so fucking easy. Like, he doesn't even need to do anything. He could just have an assistant just with a credit card and just say, every week, you can spend $1 million on GoFundMe. He'd become a beloved, life-saving individual, you know? It's like how in Superman, people tend to really like Superman because he just shows up and helps with shit. And it's like really great for everyone involved who's being helped. And Superman's, you know, he's more powerful than a steam locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet. Like, it's pretty easy for him to do it. It'd be immoral for him not to be doing it. Guy's fucking bulletproof. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound, right? It kind of be like a dick move. Superman's just like, I mean, like, I you can't make me help them though, so like, it's like, all right, kind of like a dick there. Here's a fun old, just side tangent and all. After this, I'll do donation number 3. I mean, I'll do another Amon, and we should finish off with the Vosh. But someone they did the Bazuzo build. in Dark Souls 3. Because you can do the Bazuzo build. The Berserk references go that deep that you can get fucking Bazuzo looking armor.
Dark Souls 3 has fallen into disarray. Every time you invade, you're likely to run into a Metamancer with a Karthus curved sword. Young Maestro, infamous Yukis Legion wannabe, was running out of viable ideas for shitposts, so he resorted to cosplaying the most beloved character from Berserk, the series that inspired Dark Souls. Big Dick Bazooka!
Fuck.
Gives me conniptions.
I tried to heal and it didn't work. During that long time I was just backing off doing nothing, I pressed fucking square, nothing happened. And And then I tried to do it again, and that's when he attacked. Unbelievable. It only takes 3 hits to kill him. An instant kill impact stab. Whoa!
Oh, that was fun. I haven't looked at Young Maestro's channel in a while. Okay. Ah, yeah, geez, he has been busy with other things lately. Which, you know, best of luck to him, because... No, I do like his old videos. Fun shit. Alright, let's see. Let's, Alright, well, you know what? Third donation. Let's do the... Well, it's a trans flag. I am sympathetic. Oh, hell yeah. I'm sure that was some anti-trans bullshit going on in Oklahoma. Hell yeah. You know what? We'll even go a little bit above my standard donation. Nothing crazy, but a little bit above my usual standard. 'Cause fuck transphobia. Trans people are just people. Just let them be fucking trans. It's like, it's really not a big deal. It's actually very easy to just not be shitty about trans people. I manage to do it every day. Got a little bit of something on my screen over here. Gonna wipe that. And for some reason, this wants to just refresh the page, because that just wanted to not go through. That's super cool. Let's try filling this in again. Make sure, yeah, okay, it's not showing up on there. And I hit the donate button. Got more shit on my screens. I really need to just turn my screens off and give them a good wipe down. What's going on? Well, that's being fucking annoying and seeming to not work. So, let's sit. Check back in on this before I end the stream. Might just try again on this one later, unfortunately. Because, I don't know, the donation page is just, like, locking up and not seeming to actually be able to go through. No idea what that's about. Oh, jeez, let's see. Alright, I'll be honest, I'm kind of tired and hungry. We'll do one more video. We'll do this video for some fun from Vosh. And then I'll check and see if I'm able to donate to that. If it keeps not working, I'll just try again later until I can get that fucking donation in there. But we'll go with this video as our stream dessert. And then I will go and eat some of the delicious looking dinner my fiance was cooking up. Full screen? Yeah, let's do full screen.
In absolute tears of this from Robin DiAngelo's new book. Oh no. At this point in my life, I had no black friends and had rarely spent time with black people. I was excited and felt an immediate need to let them know I was not racist. To that end, I proceeded to spend the evening telling how racist my family was. Hey guys, hot tip. If you're white and you're hanging out with black people, they don't want to hear you tell stories over and over about how racist your family is. They know what you're doing. They're not stupid. If you're a guy and you're like chatting up with a girl and you're like constantly talking about like how bad all other guys are, like how guys are normally super bad but you're not like that, she knows what you're doing. Instead, you have to take the chat approach. You know what I do? When I hang out with a bunch of black people I haven't seen before, walk up to them to let you guys know I'm not racist. Just drop that. No prelude, no follow-up. Walk away.
I'm not
and then
racist.
Come back to them later. Black person walks up to me at like a community event. They're like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, good. I'm not racist, by the way. Direct eye contact while you say this. Yeah, no, you're at the bus stop, you know, you walk up to the bus stop, you know. Hey, essay. Make eye contact with the Hispanic man. Just to let you know, I'm comfortable using this bus stop. I'm not uncomfortable around people of color, like yourself. You're not just a tan white man, right? No, no. Your clothing indicates that you're of a Hispanic type. I'm not racist. Hello, black man. I'm not racist. If there are any friends or family you would like to inform of this, please do so now while I'm watching you. If you don't do it now, I will repeat this to them when I see them. They just do that shit with everything, man. Fucking in Koreatown, you're at like a house party or somebody, you shake the fucking host's hand. He's like this Korean dude. Hello. Just to let you know, I understand that you're an American. I'm not going to ask you where your blood comes from. Thank you. Are you first generation, second generation? If you're third generation or further, I won't ask you where your home country is, your native country, where your people came from. Welcome to America. I'm not racist.
He's a Seolite.
Oh, God. In high school, you know, you get a black partner for your class project.
This is literally a come down bit, dude. This is a come down bit. Let's get fucking. Oh god, I think. Did come down end or is it like Stavleft? And I don't know what the deal is because I've only ever watched Come Town through just random clips. I've seen a bunch of those random clips, but I've never just sat down and like listened to full Come Town episodes. It's just all the random bits and highlights online.
Project for the day. Hello. Contrary to stereotype, I'm not under the impression that you'll do less work than me. I expect the work to be done 50-50. Not that I, a white person, think that I have the right to tell you how much work to do, because that harkens back to the days when my family would have owned yours as property. I don't want that, but I would appreciate it if we did even amounts of work, you know? Like equal amount. Well, not separate, but equal. I mean, well, we will be doing separate tasks on this central project, so it actually will be separate but equal amounts of work. And I understand that sounds really weird from like a race perspective, but I need you to understand, I'm not racist. I've masturbated to many interracial porn. Well, okay.
Dig up, stupid! Dig up!
Interracial porn can mean any race with any other race. I specifically mean interracial with just like a black man and a woman, you know? Well, a black man and a white woman. I mean, obviously I meant white when I didn't say the race beforehand, but... Oh, wait. No. I assumed that you would assume that she was white because I said black man, but I didn't say the race of the... It was several black men. Anyway, I'm not racist. They did use racial epithets in the pornography, but I wasn't really there for those, you know? Anyway, I understand that I've always felt bad, you know, for black male porn stars because, like, they're always expected to be really hung, and I know that plays into a lot of really negative, pernicious stereotypes. Like, you might not even be hung. You might have, like, a little dick. Which maybe, like, white girls see that and they think that's weird. I don't think that's weird. Like, well, I'm a white man. I don't know if you're, like,
you don't like being
men,
right
but
now.
if I saw your penis and it was tiny, I wouldn't think it was weird. Not that I'm asking you to undress or anything like that. I don't have any control over you, except...
It was just a school project. How did it end up like this?
Well, we have equal control... Well, no. We have equal control over this project. The work we're doing is separate, but... Are your parents black or are you adopted? I'm just saying, if they were black, I wouldn't have a problem.
Professor Flowers did not
really am
appreciate
gonna have
that
to apologize
question.
for being white.
Bazoinga.
Shit. New situation. You're at a drive-thru and you see a POC is handing your food. Oh, that's such a good one. There's so much to work with. As I grab the bag of Taco Bell, chalupa wraps, I look at the black woman handing it to me and I say, just so you know, I'm aware of the historical power imbalance between your people and mine. I feel bad. I actually, well, my family's middle class, and I'm assuming you're poor from working here, Like, you look poor to me. Well, no, I'm not saying you look poor. You're black, though, and, well, okay. So, there is a sociological bias towards poverty if you're black, and so you look black. You are black, right? You look black, I can tell. Well, I can tell. And that you're probably poor, not just because you're black, but also because you work at Taco Bell. Maybe. I mean, I'm assuming a little bit here, but it's not necessarily like that. It could also be like a student working really hard, or... Anyway, I'm just saying I'm aware of the power dynamic here. I feel bad when I take this food from you, because I'm more privileged than you are, and I just want you to know that I know that you're less privileged than I am. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just want you to know that.
I read a book once that said that it was very white.
I know I'm white. I'm sorry.
Egocentric of me to assume that my apologies have any effect on POC of color. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you money. Do you need some money? I have $17. I'm so sorry that you're black. Do you need... you are poor, right? I'm not just assuming that because you're black. Do you need... Okay, here, just take... No, you know what? I lied when I said I had 17. I have 37. I actually have a 20. I just didn't mention it at first because I didn't want you to know how much money I actually had. POV, you encounter a pink boy. Are you Robin DiAngelo's ghostwriter? Sir, gentlemen, I was one... Well, we're at the same party, and, well... Once this song is done, I spoke with the DJ and they were going to play a rap, one of your a rap song next, and well, it has it frequently uses the vernacular of your people with the soft A and the hard R, and I was wondering if you would have a problem with me singing it, also using the vernacular of your people. To sing it. Now, a couple of things that you should know before that. First of all, I am not racist. I have never thought anything racist. I've never said it before. Well, no, I read Huckleberry Finn once, and I had to read it out loud then in class. It was during cram school, and I was wondering if, okay, could you forgive me? I said it, and everyone moved on, but since then, Okay, wait, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Stop. I can't. Stop. Stop. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done.
For the tiniest bit of serious commentary at the end of that, I'll just say that it's like, to me at least, Vosh's ability to, on the fly, just come up with stuff like that, I think indicates a pretty, like, solid understanding of, like, race issues and racism. Because it's just... it's... You have to know, you have to actually have an understanding of, like, some aspects of the, like, reality of racism in order to come up with that kind of scenario of someone who's, like, that in order to do the opposite of everything that would be correct, you have to have some knowledge of what the correct stances would be. You can't just accidentally. It's hard to accidentally just do all of the exact wrong things. Oh, that video. POC of color. I know I've said that a couple times, just interpersonally when I wanted to just be funny. And it's really minimizing the voices of POCs of color. I think I've said POC of women too. Women of POC. I've probably said women of POC at some point, just to be a goofer. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with this one. I will figure it out off stream. It's been 2 hours. I'm happy with this stream. Money was given to people who were just simply asking for it in response to problems and hardships that they were unfortunately having to deal with. I'm semi-inebriated right now, so that's a good stopping point. Ugh, kind of fucking hiccuping too, but yeah, just a better world is possible. The capitalist class is squatting on all the fucking money, and that money would be better used actually, fixing shit and improving people's lives instead of improving one asshole's stock portfolio. Fuck that. Trans rights are human rights. But I'm Alex. I'm billionaire busting. I think this has been a fun stream. Sub to Aim on Animations. Sub to Vosh. But I'll see. I'll do another stream soon, and it'll probably be just as fun as this one. So look forward to that, and have